Now with the axles out, I mentioned earlier that I had a plan in order to stiffen up these stamped steel control arms. Now you can spend over $100 on tubular or boxed-in control arms, track bars, and anti-wrap bars. Or if you're on a budget, I'm going to show you how to stiffen up your suspension without spending a whole lot of money. Well, I learned this from some rallycross stuff I was reading. And what they're gonna do is they'll just take these stock arms and they'll basically just weld in a fourth plate here. This will stiffen it up quite a lot. It'll add a little bit of weight, but it's cheap. With the strips cut out, I took the time to shape them so that they would lay as flat as possible in the control arms. This little detail doesn't take that long and it makes the project look a lot better. With a quick weld and a few coats of paint, our new box control arms are ready to handle a lot more of what you're going to put them through. Whether it's tearing through the desert or drifting around your local parking lot. Just remember, this is only increasing the rigidity of the stamped steel. We're not increasing the overall thickness. So don't go hitting any curbs. But boxed control arms wouldn't help that much if we just put in the stock bushings. So I got some poly bushings. Let's get those installed. I already got the old rubber out, but first we got to get this old sleeve out so we can put the new sleeve in. All you're gonna need for that is a block of wood, a hammer, and a punch. This thing does not want to come out. These took way too long to get out. They did not want to move at all. Let's get the new ones in. I'm sure there's a very professional way to get these in here. Straight. What's professional mean? After what must have been hours overworking all 5 of my brain cells, trying to figure out how a hammer works and how to get these sleeves in properly, my wife finally came over and told me to use a hydraulic press. So I did the right thing and put it off until it was too late and I had to wait until the next day. And since we stiffened up the rear end, we might as well give a little love to the front. This first piece is a Wonder Bar from Top Down Solutions. It does wonders for stiffening up the front end steering on these older cars, and it only costs 50 bucks. Next we have a junkyard sway bar out of a V8 Camaro. It's a little beefier than the stock one, so we should see some improvements in the corners. And holding it all in are these poly sway bar bushings and end links.
First we're going to remove the stock sway bar and end links, being careful not to break any rusty bolts.
Let's just look at the instructions real quick. That's enough.
This sway bar has additional bolt holes for extra strength, so we're going to use those to hold it in place. It's going to sit directly above the sway bar location, so the lower radiator hose is going to have to make some space. With the new bushings greased up and installed, we can now put the sway bar in place, though we won't tighten it down until after we get the end links installed. And since these are all suspension parts, we're going to Loctite every single bolt. With everything installed, we can now torque all the bolts when the suspension is at right height. Thank you for letting me share this old school tip with you. Comment below if you've done this to your ride. Leave a like so I'm not the only one liking my videos, and subscribe if you want to see more.